Plymouth makes it. Plymouth makes it.
Sometimes Plymouth makes it by helping to bridge the generation gap, as we'll see here.
What are you slowing down for here, Johnny?
You asked my ideas on a new car, right? I want you to see something.
I'm not a leadfoot. Why do you want to stop here?
I want you to see how many cars here are Plymouths. You're pretty high in the new Torino, and I think you'd be ahead in a Plymouth Sport Satellite.
1970 Hemi Roadrunner in pure stock condition, 106.5 miles per hour. ET, 13.3 seconds.
I'm not interested in your hot iron. Let's go. I want to see the new Torino. Now get that through your head.
Johnny's mistake was trying to sell the performance story before proving the other Plymouth advantages. Suppose Johnny had started by showing that the two cars are priced competitively, that Belvedere models have more roominess and comfort inside, with more features as well as more power. For instance, styling. Torino is advertised as all new, from new wheelbase to new shaped-by-the-wind design, with some curious results. Plymouth's handsome grille is protected by a wide, husky bumper. The bumper guards are standard on all Belvederes. Torino's bumper is actually skinny, giving minimum protection and no bumper guards. Any distinction the Brougham has from its hidden headlights is temporary, because the feature is optional, and many low-line Torinos will be sold with this grille headlight combination. The two unique grilles within the mid-sized Plymouths identify the cars, and you can't make a low-line Belvedere look like a GTX. Now, in the rear, check Sport Satellite's massive bumper. Torino has a narrow bumper with plenty of sheet metal exposed below. The Belvedere line offers the buyer two more models to choose from. Here's how they line up. There's our GTX and Torino GT, Roadrunner and Cobra, Sport Satellite and Brougham, Satellite and Torino, Belvedere and Fairlane 500. All the Belvederes are easier to get in and out of than the Torinos. Our doors swing open nearly 4 inches wider. That's why. Notice how Sport Satellite doors are trimmed in wood-grain vinyl applique, an extra note of luxury that's not on Torino. Our bucket seats unlatch at the bottom. You can do it with your foot. Our split bench seats unlatch at the top, where it's easy to find the release. Torino's latches at the bottom are hard to locate and must be released by hand. It's awkward. Our instrument panel stresses function with complete instrumentation and positive rocker switches on controls. For a new car, Torino's instrument panel offers nothing new, not even an alternator gauge. And for supercar buffs, you expect a cockpit, and that's what you have in GTX and Roadrunner. Special high-performance instrumentation, all standard. Torino GT and Cobra instrument panels are no different from the Fairlane 500, just more wood grain. Torino has the new combination steering column ignition lock as an anti-theft feature, but this thoughtful reminder buzzer you hear on all Plymouths isn't available on Torino, not even at extra cost. Plymouth's fresh air vent controls are located on either side of the steering column. Convenient. Torino puts these controls on opposite sides of the front compartment. Inconvenient. Impossible to open the right vent unless stopped. Sport Satellite offers the rear seat smoker an ashtray in both rear seat armrests. Torino's single rear seat ashtray is in the middle of the driver's seat back. No matter where you sit in Plymouth, there's more room and more comfort than in Torino. That goes for front seat, rear seat, 2 doors and 4 doors. More passenger comfort for 6 or sprawling comfort for 4. Here's what all Belvederes give you over all Torinos. More headroom, more shoulder room, more hip room, more comfort, period. An optional comfort convenience feature available on all Belvederes with bucket seats is the remarkable 160-position manually adjustable seat. A great tension reliever on long trips, this seat gives every size driver the maximum comfort. Torino has no comparable option. Another important Plymouth driver advantage is rear visibility. Rear fenders and deck are plainly in view, makes parking a little easier. Now, the Torino driver can only guess where the rear of his car is, and it's even worse in the sports roof. The sports roof just isn't designed for backing up. Actually, the driver can't see the road any closer than about 2 car lengths behind the car. Another point, it's even harder to see out the back when the optional sport slats are installed to give rear passengers some shade. Another design failing is inside the trunk. The top of the Torino gas tank is the bottom of the trunk, protected only by a thin mat. No other manufacturer carries production shortcuts to such extremes. But the real test of a car comes out on the road, in use, the way the owner will drive his car week in, week out. Let's consider handling. We use tough, rugged torsion bars for front suspension, long leaf springs for rear suspension. The result provides as comfortable a ride over smooth surfaces as Torino, and over rough roads and winding hairpin turns, our torsion bars provide resistance in direct proportion to the road shocks and the forces of gravity. As a consequence, Plymouth tracks and corners something like the high-priced European sports cars that also have torsion bars. Not soft and mushy. Another handling advantage, all Belvederes turn in 40.6 feet. Torino requires a turning diameter of 42.3 feet. Now, looking into standard V8 power, notice that we top Torino in standard V8 horsepower, 230 to 220. Also interesting, in hot engines, it's a wipeout. 4 engines against only 2 for Torino. At the low end, we have 35 more horsepower. At the high end, we have 55 more horsepower. Here's the point. Plymouth's hot engines, the Hemi and the 440s, are offered by every Plymouth dealer. While Ford spends more money on racing than all other manufacturers combined, the street versions of their racing engines have less steam than Plymouth's. It's important to remember that Plymouth's rapid transit system with 5 different supercars began with Roadrunner and GTX, the cream of the Belvedere line. Ford's Performance Corner has only 3 performers, 2 Mustangs and the Torino Cobra. Instead of offering muscle parts as Ford does, Plymouth presents a total system. Cars conceived and produced and ready to run with a single purpose, performance. That includes brakes. Belvedere 6s and V8s have a minimum of 195.2 square inches of brake lining area. That's 45% more than Torino's minimum area. In supercars, where stopping power is most important, GTX and Roadrunner have 60% more brake lining area than the Torino Cobra. Comparing optional disc brakes, note that in total swept area, Plymouth tops Torino by a full 55% for faster heat dissipation, less fade, and longer life. Considering power, ride, and handling with torsion bar suspension and braking, the Belvederes and Satellites and the supercars deliver more than the Torinos. Now, here's the station wagon scene. It's Sports Satellite and Torino Squire, Satellite and Torino, Belvedere and Fairlane 500, with some important Plymouth advantages. First, our wheelbase is 3 inches longer than Torino for a smoother ride in the same overall length vehicle. Our cargo area is 2.7 inches longer with tailgate closed, 5 inches longer with tailgate open. Our wagon is bigger, even though both are the same overall length. Some more points. Belvederes are offered in 18 different colors. Torino, only 16. We have 7-step dip and spray anti-rust treatments. Torino has spray only. And there's the warranty. Torino's warranty is for 12 months on the entire car except tires. The 550 powertrain warranty, the one Plymouth provides without cost, is a $15 extra for the Torino buyer. Getting back to Johnny, Fortunately, Johnny's dad met a salesman who knew the facts and explained the basic Belvedere advantages. Let's listen in.
Hey, Dad, what's that you're wearing?
Well, I didn't get it for ordering a Torino.
Tell me.
Well, they just happen to have this vitamin C heart.
Makes it. If you want a car that makes it, Plymouth makes it. Plymouth makes it.